welcome to this week's episode of Success in Women. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And today we're going to be talking about advocating for your family, your friends, actually, and yourself. But before we get started, I'm going to be giving you the tip of the day because recently I had a friend over and she told me about a new website. Well, new to me. It's probably been around for a while, which is why we have the show, right? It's because we're always sharing. So she shared with me a site called Yucca. That's Y-U-K-A, and I'll be putting it in the hashtag. But what this site does is it scans products that you use every day. So I went around my condo getting out my body lotions, shampoos, some foods, makeup, actually even some of the drinks that I would have.
Right, of course.
Could not believe how many products I had to end up throwing out because not only are they bad for you, but in some cases, some of the ingredients are hazardous. And you know, we talk all the time about
that's what's happening right now.
People are sick.
Yeah.
So many people we know have cancer and everything.
So many toxins in our body, and we're putting them in there because we're trusting the government and manufacturers to sell us clean products or products that are relatively clean, not so harmful. And they always say, well, there's only this much, per day. Well, after days and days and days of it years sinking in your skin, that's why I think today we have so many cancer problems, unbelievable
patients. And part of the reason we're doing this is because my mother passed away recently. And
Linda.
Yeah, I know. And she's going to be missed, but she was a very young, healthy 92-year-old until she wasn't.
Right.
And just before she passed, we found out she had a really massive tumor that was pressing on her kidney. But how do you know that some of these things that my mother had been using, I'll say, for most of her life and into the end of her life wasn't causing the problem where she ends up getting this tumor? Because it seems nowadays we're all finding people that we know very close to us that are getting cancer.
That's it, and we just don't know. And that's why our topic today is phenomenal.
Yes, and so, but go to the website, check it out, because products that I was using every day and had been for years, oh my God, garbage. And then you see advertisers, with famous actors and actresses, promoting it. I'm not even sure they know what's in these products.
I really don't know. I don't know if they actually use the product.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, no matter who I see advertising, I would like to know. Yeah, maybe they've used it once and then they can say they've tried it. But like certain products, I don't believe they use them on a daily basis. They've got money to have all the, the best products, the best professionals, making different things for them that they know are clean.
But to go along with this, so I came to Andrea's and I started going in her kitchen, even looking at some of the food products. And I thought, wow, she's a good shopper because her food was all coming rated high. And I couldn't even shampoo my hair without it being 0 out of 100.
Wow.
And I thought the product that I bought, I was looking and I said, it's good for this and this and this. I thought it was good. And it was 0. I mean, how do you get 0 for crying out loud?
That's one of the reasons why I promote Melaleuca so much. I've been using it since 2002, but 20 some years. I only use their product for soap, shampoo, dish soap, laundry soap, makeup, and now you love my mascara.
Yes.
And it's all it's not it has some chemicals, but they're not harmful. They're not toxic chemicals, but it's mostly eco-friendly stuff. And I just love their product. And then on my skincare, Beauty Counter, it's all clean skincare that I have to order. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but nowadays everybody orders online.
And I just ordered from, my friend told me about Yves Rocher, and a lot of their products, they're made in France and they come highly rated as well. Good. And that's the thing, you have to do some research. You can't accept when they just put the word clean or environmentally friendly or they natural, 100% natural. They're not. A lot of this stuff, chemicals could be natural that they're getting, but it's toxic to your body.
Exactly. And that's that's why nowadays we really do have to advocate
Yes.
for ourselves, our families,
And share the
and
message.
share the message. Like you were saying with your mom, you were, before she passed, you were, thinking, wow, she really went downhill, and you started investigating and found that, maybe they were overdosing her on pain medication.
Hardly maybe, because my mother in the end was almost comatose. And that in the end was a catalyst that said, listen, and she'd only been in a nursing home for less than 2 months when I had a call with my younger sister and said, we got to get mom out of here. Right. And one day, the day before we got her into the hospital, I actually tried to kidnap her, and I just told the home that, because I don't have power of attorney. Right. And that was another problem, that people need to know who's making these decisions. Right. And whether or not that person that has POA is actually communicating with right. you and the rest of the family. Anyway, in my family, it wasn't communicated. And so I just made it sound like I was taking my mother out on an outing. The problem was I called a cab company that ended up not showing up. We waited.
Wheelchair access.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was over 2 hours. And
that's crazy.
And on the Friday before my mother passed, she just said, Linda, I got to go back to bed. She was in the wheelchair over 2 hours, and it was really hard on my mom. So I said, Mom, that's okay. I said, we'll try again tomorrow. But on the next day, I just decided, no, I'm calling an ambulance. And the home that she lived in was, going to give me a little bit of grief. And I said, listen, my older sister that has POA is on her way. And if she knows what's good for her, she's going to listen. I am getting my mother out of this hellhole, because to see my mom literally go from this person that was alive and vivacious to this curled up ball where they didn't even move her. And she was so drugged up, she couldn't move herself. Right. She wasn't eating. She wasn't drinking. And the fact is, the home didn't care because they're short-staffed, overworked, underpaid, and the government doesn't seem to care about our seniors.
They don't care because they have a waiting list a mile long. So they're just trying to check off the waiting list. They're just trying to get the numbers down. And I'm telling you, us seniors, we better start
the baby
voicing our concerns, because they're not building new ones. They're not making anything better for us to come, and
they're not giving them the funding.
They're not giving them the funding, and they're giving money away to anybody else that comes from any other country. But for the people who worked here, born here, and pay taxes here, we won't have a place to go. So if our kids don't have a place for us, or we don't die off quickly, it's going to be a sorry sight, because there's a lot of us baby boomers coming in the next 15, 20 years.
Absolutely. And I remember, Andrea, one time you were telling me about one of your friends who's a nurse who had to advocate at one of the nursing homes to get the food budget up a little bit with the government. And even though it wasn't as much as what she would have liked, it was better than the way it was.
Well, at that time, so her mother was in one facility, my mother-in-law was in one. But when her mother was not eating, and she said, Mom, what's the problem? She said, oh, do you ever see the menu? You ever see the food? So it kind of triggered her to investigate. And so one day she went into the kitchen and she said, what's the menu? Like, what kind of money do you guys have? At that time, they had $5.60 for the day per resident. And that had to include any specialty meals, any like Ensure, all of that had to come out of that money. So here they paid in all that kind of money, and they couldn't even get a decent meal. So you can imagine everything was canned this, canned that, frozen that, never mind homemade food. So anyways, she went on a rampage with her other friend who was a nurse, and they went all over Canada. We got millions and millions of signatures, and she went to City Hall or Queen's Park in Toronto and presented it, and she got it raised to, over a couple of years, to $11 and something per resident. I don't know what it is now. This was a while back. But that's what I mean. If we don't do something, if we don't advocate for ourselves, no one's going to do it for us. And who thinks about that until they're in the situation?
Yes.
Well, I never thought about that. I just figured they were giving them decent meals. But no. And so anyway, she got that done, and I don't know how it is now, but the lesson here is, we have to advocate for ourselves. We have to, it's like with the drug situation, the pharmacies, they just want to pop us with pills, take this, take that. No. First, do your research. See if there's something out there. You've just been through that, Linda.
Yes, and I want to tell that story because this is interesting. Are you finished?
Well, yeah, just the fact that you
have to
took it on yourself.
Yeah. So I've been having major problems with my joints from the waist down. And the fact is, I went to my family doctor. I went to a physiotherapist. I went to an orthopedic surgeon. They put me through the x-rays and the bone scan and everything else. But in the end, it's basically, here, take some drugs. Take Tylenol arthritis pills. Go to a pain clinic and learn to deal with the pain. I go to an athletic doctor, which they did not recommend. But a friend of mine told me about what happened with her sister.
Because you didn't give up.
Because I would not give up.
And then just take their pills. You kept pushing.
So I got my family doctor to refer me to this other doctor. I go there within 10 minutes of actually being in there. He had diagnosed one of the major problems, and all it took was one piece of athletic tape because the muscle had detached from my knee. That was one of the main things that was throwing off my whole body. Now I have to go for a follow-up, in a few weeks. And when I do, I'm looking forward to finding out what more is going to be happening now that I'm trying to correct something that's been going on for a while.
Right.
But they don't care. It's like, take a pill.
Right.
Deal with it. Take a pill. You're getting old. It's just osteoarthritis. Really?
Yeah.
You know your own body.
Yes.
Don't listen to these people that don't have a vested interest in you.
Right.
You have to do that.
And I mean, the same happened to me that time. I had fallen and hit my head, and I had hurt my neck, and the pain was unbelievable. And I went to the hospital, and of course, right away, they put you, on pain medication. I came home, and that was it. Nothing else to be done, just pain medication. I think I went for a CAT scan by, you got some jamming there, and that's it. I went home, I took a pill, I took one, I felt kind of weird, and then I had to take another one later. Oh, that was it. I said, I can't take these, because I was out to lunch and, not able to function. So I had a friend who's used to curl with me, was a chiropractor, and I said, I'm going to give him a shot. And I'm not saying that fixes everything, but I thought, I'm going to try. And that's the thing. You just try until you find what works. So I called him up. I went in. He checked me out. He did the x-ray. He saw the problem. And by the time I left the first visit, the pain was so much better. And I wasn't like nauseous anymore. I mean, the pain was so bad. And then the next visit, it was gone. And that was, oh my goodness, I want to say 15 years ago or so,
wow.
Maybe longer. And it hasn't returned.
But you know what's interesting? Sometimes when you go to the doctor, you feel like because of all their education, everything else, they're know. God.
Yeah.
They're God.
Or that they know what they're going to know right away.
Well, it was the same with the orthopedic surgeon. It was be a matter of time, and then all of a sudden I'd have to have an operation. If I let it go the way that basically she's telling me, I just got to accept it.
Right.
But even when I brought my mother into the hospital, the doctor just looks at my mom and thinks, oh, well, she's 92. You know what I mean? And they have her written off.
Right. Absolutely.
They don't even want to try to do anything because they just write them off. It's based on age. Well, that's what they were doing to me. Oh, you know what? You're older, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody gets it at some point. You just got it worse than others. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to accept that.
Exactly. And that's what we have to do. Not accept that their word is
gospel.
Gospel. Exactly.
There are some great doctors, but there's some doctors that, again, they don't care. They're in bed with the pharmauticals. We all understand it's big business.
And another thing we have to start doing is preventative. Like,
yes.
Like, go online, see what's good for aging, like in your foods. I was looking the other day because my sister has very high blood pressure. And of course, what do they have her on? Pills.
They wanted to do that with me too. I said, no.
So we went online. I said, Vicky, let's look at this and see what's good for, what can you do to help your blood pressure? And it was like, drink green tea, beets, garlic, like get that in your food, exercise, like just walking.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, so I said, you know, instead of drinking coffee, which raises your blood pressure, try the green tea. You've got nothing to lose, and it's natural. It's all natural things you can do to help.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not saying it's going to fix the problem, but in some cases, it does. I said, put cinnamon on your fruits. You know, eat more berries. You know, go online and see.
I used to always do that. Put it in my oatmeal. You know, I put the berries, put the cinnamon. You know, I put all that stuff in. Even the flaxseed. Flaxseed is really good for you. And the thing is, like you said, preventative. You might not think it's doing anything, but you don't know how healthy it's keeping your body inside, so you don't come out with all these things.
Exactly.
That's why people want an instant fix all the time.
Right.
I've been drinking green tea for probably 30 years. And you know, as much as I don't feel like it's doing anything, I know that inside my body appreciates the fact that I drink so much green tea.
Right. And that's the thing. We have to be more
proactive.
And if you do find, like, I had a lot of leg cramps, like I was saying, in the night. And so I looked it up, what causes leg cramps. Well, number one is lack of magnesium. So, okay, I'll start there. So Melaleuca has really good powdered magnesium, so I got it. And sure enough, I started taking it. And they say have a glass of water before bed, because at night your veins or whatever are looking for water. If they don't find them, they cramp up. So between the water and the magnesium, they're gone. So instead of rushing to the doctor, see if there's something you can do at home to help with different things that are bothering you.
And one of the things that I've noticed is that if you are taking a supplement, see again online how long you should be on that supplement before you give your body a break.
Right.
Because you think that it's good, and it is, but it's good for maybe shorter periods of time, and then you need to break from it. Because it's like anything, and when we talk about even the skin creams that I'm using that have all these toxic stuff in it, over time it's building up. And that's not a good thing. Right. So it could be the same thing even with good supplements. You can't take things forever and think that it's going to benefit your body.
Because see, that's what I do with the magnesium. Like I'll take it for a week straight, and then I stop for, you know, a week, or and if I feel some cramping,
then you can take it
again.
again.
Start taking it again. Like it's not like I have to religiously take it every day. And because when you think about your diet, because you know they say you need broccoli, you need this. Well, you don't eat broccoli every single day, but you eat it every other day, or salad every other day. You're trying to get those nutrients in you within the week. So the same with I would think with the magnesium and stuff like that, you know, that you know how much you need. I try not to take something religiously every day because then your body might just get used to it, and then it can't produce it on its own after.
Yeah.
You know.
And the difference is when we talk about things like green tea, that's different because green tea is almost like water. It's flushing out things out of your body. You can drink that every day.
Yes.
But there's like supplements are different because they are something that is supplementing something you don't have right now. Yes. But you can eventually get it, especially if you also do your research and find what foods would have that. So you can get off the supplement, and you can replace it with natural foods. Right. But initially the supplement helps, you know, to relieve whatever's going on. But you've got to start doing this kind of stuff.
Right.
And
I'm always looking for stuff online, you know, like what helps with this, or I'll just look up spices and say, oh, what are they good for? Like, you know, like, I just recently read that clove is
for a lot of stuff.
Fabulous for your body. Fabulous
well, how
for
do
your
you
body.
take that? Because I don't like the taste of clove.
I love clove, but I put it in my applesauce now.
Oh.
This morning I made my flourish pancakes, and I put in blueberries that my sister brought, fresh picked from the ground.
They're out. Oh my goodness.
And I put cinnamon and clove spice in my pancake mix, and it was delicious. And I can put it in my coffee because I love the taste of cloves.
Wow.
And if you like to make apple cider or applesauce, which I make quite often, I put the clove what do you call them? The picks, like
Yeah.
not the ground.
No, I
the
know.
actual clove.
I know.
I put a
the
couple of those.
natural ones.
I just throw them in there
Wow.
with the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and it's like
And you
so
eat that,
good. Oh,
the
yeah.
actual whole thing?
No, I don't eat.
Oh.
No, I take that out after.
and
when
just, okay.
Yeah, no, you
Just
can't
for the
eat
flavor.
that.
Okay.
Now, I've never tried putting one of those in, because right now I'm out because I made some apple cider. I've got the powder, which I'm using the ground clove.
Oh.
But I want to go get some more of the whole cloves because I want to try just dropping one or two in my coffee. See, because I love the taste of clove.
Wow.
I know not everybody does.
No, I must be an acquired taste or something, or you like it or you don't, because I've never liked it in anything. And I've been reading a lot more on cloves. But then that's the thing. There's always something coming out, right?
Oh,
that,
yes.
Is natural. And funny enough, I mean, some of the things now that I'm looking, so I didn't know about turkey tail mushrooms. But turkey tail mushrooms, if you've got cancer or you know somebody who's got cancer, you can get supplements. And apparently there was this guy who put something out on YouTube about his mom having very aggressive breast cancer, and he started giving her turkey tail capsules. Anyway, she's free and clear today.
Wow.
And the thing is, pharmaceuticals don't want that because cancer, and even cancer societies and stuff I heard won't promote stuff that will actually help, I'll say, cure cancer, because they make too much money. They get too many donations for cancer.
Oh, yeah.
But, and I heard about another supplement, graviola, again, and that's got soursop in it, again, to help with cancer.
Right.
And so if you can reverse by doing natural stuff. Well, anyway, at this point, I had been in a health food store called Goodness Me, and it's just a grocery store, but they sell more natural and good stuff. I buy bone broth every time I go into Burlington just to drink because it's good for you.
Yes.
They have this root beer, and it's almost half a liter. I thought that was a big bottle, but it was only one serving, so I actually bought one to try because my brother-in-law told me about it. It has 3 different types of mushrooms in it. When I rated it through Yucca, came in, I think, 100% or 96%, something extremely high as something good to drink.
Wow.
And that's the mushrooms.
Well, Dr. Gundry says mushrooms is the #1 super food on the planet besides avocado and, what was the other one? Mushrooms, avocado, what's the other one? But anyways, onion, garlic, they're all up there. But superfoods is the avocado and the mushrooms.
Well, mushrooms,
to be amazing for your body.
Absolutely. And then you start researching into that and you start looking at these other kinds.
Right.
And it's like, how can I get that in my body? Especially, like I said, now the root beer is really great because I can just have, and you can't buy it everywhere, unfortunately, but it's really good. And I think it's called Alive or something like that. So if you do find it, it's worth trying out.
Right. So anyways, that's the whole idea. Advocate for yourself, advocate for your family, and try to prevent a lot of the sickness and pill poppings that's going on.
And just to conclude with, Andrea's recently celebrated her 47th anniversary.
Yay.
And because she's always advocated for her family and tries to keep them healthy, she has a nice, healthy, happy family and relationship with her spouse. Because her goal is to always make sure she's doing the right things for her family. And that's why she uses the Melaleuca, because it's a clean product for her family.
Exactly.
So if not you, who?
Right. You have to advocate. Make sure that you're getting what's good for you, your body, and your family.
So until next week, I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And we hope you
like,
share,
and definitely subscribe.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.